What's up, self-healers? Lisa Lightfeather here. Welcome to my channel, Closing the Gap. We make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your healing and your spiritual journey. Today I will be speaking about the practice of cleansing your home, spiritually cleansing your home. Now, what are some of the reasons that one might need to spiritually cleanse their home? It could be anything from just stagnant energy, from accumulating things, and things, as we know, things have energy attached to them. And so accumulating a lot of things, you just need to energetically cleanse your home so that the energy can move through your home. This is a form of feng shui, yes? And so you're cleansing it so that the chi can move through your home. Some other ways that we will be practicing today, because I am working with a client today, it's cleansing the home of negative energies, of negative spirits. Yes, that door is closing behind me. 1 minute, I'll be right back. Someone's acquiring my attention. Okay, so now that we've gotten that taken care of, and so when you're dealing with these entities, with these spirits, with these energies, yes, you have to be prepared to deal with these energies because it's not something that you play with. You understand? So what I'm speaking about today is there's all types of ways to cleanse your house. It doesn't always have to be negative or so intense. But what I want to speak with you about today are the energies that disturb you, the energies that make you uneasy, that make you unrestful, things that cause sleep paralysis, nightmares. You may see shadow people within your home and really not know what to do with that. And that's okay, because everybody doesn't do this work, yes? But you can do some basic things with your house and cleansing. Sage is not always strong enough, yeah? But you can do the basic cleansing of your home and then saging and such and so forth and so on. But what I want to do today is I wanted to share with you what I'm doing for my client in order to cleanse their home. They have been seeing shadow people. Their children have been disturbed in their rest. And the people, the owners of the home, have been disturbed in their rest. And so this is an indication for me that they have let me know that they have seen what I know to be as shadow people, yes? So where do shadow people come from? So shadow people are spirits. Yes, they're spirits that reside, that follow a person, that reside with a person. And maybe they've come into contact with this shadow spirit somewhere along the way, or maybe they're sad, or they're depressed, or they're crying. And these shadow spirits like to attach to people whose vibrational frequency is low. Not meaning that they're a bad person, but they may be just kind of depressed. They may be stressed out. They may be overworked. They may be hanging around people who are not necessarily at the highest vibration. And so a lot of times shadow spirits attach themselves to alcohol. Yes, and so these people may have been in an area where there was a bunch of alcohol or something like that, and the spirit may have attached to them because their vibrational frequency was slightly higher than everyone else's. Then the spirits, those shadow spirits, will be attracted to that person. But they like to attach themselves also to people who are sad, depressed, lonely, and they eventually they're just down. Yeah, and so these spirits like to feed on that energy. Okay, so and so if there's one person in the home who's feeling this way, then everybody in the home could be affected, right? And so so what we're doing today is we're cleansing this particular home, my client's home. And I wanted to take this opportunity, because I don't do this very often. I don't do this work very often. I wanted to take this opportunity to share with my viewers on some of the things that you can use to cleanse your own home. You can do it yourself, or you can hire a professional such as myself to take care of the spiritual cleansing of your home. Just like you hire someone to come do the physical cleansing of the home, you can hire someone to come do the spiritual cleansing of the home. Yes? So today we're working with these shadow beings. Why are these shadow beings attracted to alcohol? So the Arabic word alcohol means alcohol, which means body-eating spirits, flesh-eating spirits. And so there's a reason that they refer to alcohol as the term of spirits. Yes? And so this is one of those spirits that feed wherever there's alcohol at. But wherever there's alcohol at, yes, people who are happy drink alcohol in celebration and cheers and everybody's happy. But 9 times out of 10, people who drink alcohol are not comfortable in their own vessel. They are not very happy people. Alcohol, as we all know, can be a serious addiction. Yes. And so these shadow spirits are drawn to that energy, and not just alcohol. They're drawn to any kind of low vibrational energy. So you want to be sure that you are prayed up and protected when you're going into these spaces. I'm not saying these spaces are bad. I'm just saying that one needs to protect himself. In this day and time, in the age of Aquarius, spirits are walking right here beside us to our left and right. Yeah. And so whether people want to see that or not, or whether they want to acknowledge that or not, that's on them. I'm not here to convince anyone. I'm just here to share the work with you. Yes. Let me see what else. Now, another way that one can contract these alcohol spirits, like you don't have to be the one drinking. Let's just say that your woman is an alcoholic and you sleep with her, and that energy can transfer from her to you. Or if your man's an alcoholic, especially the man, because he's releasing in the woman, and he's releasing these alcoholic spirits into the woman. And so she can without ever taking a drink, she can wake up with a hangover. Nauseous, headache, whatever it is that the hangover feels like, a person can wake up with that. They can feel very heavy. And so one has to cleanse themselves on a regular basis. But this day and age, people are spiritually lazy. They're spiritually lazy. They don't want to do the work. For one, they probably don't even believe, right? But you can do something as simple as cleansing yourself in a salt bath. Yeah? And then also protecting yourself when it comes to sexual intercourse, using protection. But spirits do not acknowledge protection, but at least you can stop the actual physical release from going within your sacred space, or her physical release going within the masculine's divine parts. Yes? Okay. So let's see here. So the first thing you want to do is you want to cleanse, especially have your house clean, but you want to cleanse your mirrors. Mirrors are portals. Yes, you got fingerprints and toothpaste and spit and everything else on your mirror. Cleanse all that. Yeah. You want to open your windows. Open the windows. The windows are the eyes of the home. And if you have the time and the space to do it, cleanse your windows, because the windows are the eyes. And what do they say about the eyes? The eyes are the window to the soul. Yes. So it's no different with your home. So let's get started here. And so open the windows, airing it out naturally with natural air. And then you want to, no specific order, right? And so you want to have your candles. You want to dress your candles. Here I have my candles dressed with the 4 sacred plants. I have sage, I have tobacco, I have sweetgrass, and I have cedar within each one of these candles. And I've taken off any stickers or anything on the candles, and I will cleanse them off here, because we don't know where the candles have been prior to getting in our hands. Yes. Now sometimes you can't cleanse off the writings and stuff like this, such as this candle here that I have with Archangel Michael. It has a prayer on the back, and it has other certain things written on here from the seller. You can't do that, but you can't remove it, but you can cleanse it. Yeah. You want to keep the prayer, but you also want to make sure that the prayer applies to what you're trying to accomplish. Yes. With each one of these candles, I have the 4 sacred plants, and I've used a bit of olive oil just to dash on the top of the candle. Yes. I've also added cloves to each one of the candles, and I have these 2 little here that I will place next to people within the homes, their pictures and stuff like that, right? So you have your candles. You can also do with your candles, you can write on your candles what you would like. So you want protection, rest, or you want happiness, balance, peace, whatever it is that you're desiring to manifest or to bring into the home. You can write that on your candles with a black marker. Yes, or whatever color marker you'd like. Okay, so that's the candle work that you're going to use, and you're going to burn those candles. Those candles will burn between 4 and 7 days, depending on how fast they burn. You don't want to leave stuff like this in your house of work that you've already done This work is over. Yeah? Get rid of this stagnant energy. Don't collect stuff like this in your home and think that it's still working in some sort of way. You want to get rid of that stuff, yeah? The next thing you want to do is you want to prepare your mop water. Now let me tell you something about these new age cleaners. They got these little brushes, they're just little wet pads, they just sweep over the floor. No, I'm talking about real mop water. Yes, old-fashioned mop water, where you got to get in there and work it out, right? And so you want to prepare your mop water. You can prepare your mop water with, right here I have some rose water, and I also have I have some Florida water here that I made with my grandbaby. And also within that I have all the herbs from my gardens. I have, you can also buy Florida water. You don't have to make it yourself, but I've actually made this. I made this with my grandbaby last spring. She helped me make it. So this is special Florida water to me. I've also added a little bit of garlic and vinegar into it, yeah? And so for protection of the home. I'm gonna add some of that to the mop water. I'm gonna add some rose water to the mop water. And I'm actually going to add a bit of Florida water. Oh, wow. I left that. Okay, anyways, Florida water that you actually can get from the store into the mop water, yes? So that's your liquids. And so I also will have a bit of, because we're looking at protection, correct? We're looking at protection. And so because we're looking at protection, I have some salt and I have some cayenne pepper, yes? You can also use black salt. But right here I have salt and cayenne pepper. Now the salt is for protection and the cayenne pepper is to repel anything negative that tries to come into the home. Yeah? And so before I ever start this, I will do you need a fireproof container, something that will not start on fire. I have this one here, and I usually set it here in my tripod. My tripod, that sounds so military, like that in the middle of the home, and I will light that and it will burn and smoke out the whole home, right? The windows are open, and we have in here our 4 sacred plants. We have the tobacco, the sage, the lemongrass, and we have the cedar. I have some a sage stick here also from my garden of all of my lavender, my rosemary, anything that was in my garden. I made this sage stick last year, and then a regular sage stick. And we have some Palo Santo to do the final cleansing. Yeah, we won't burn that Palo Santo within this. We'll burn that at the end, calling in all positive energy. So since I am working with protection, nightmares, restless sleep, these shadow entities coming in during the time of the family resting, I will place protective herbs and fruits and things of that sort under each individual's bed. And so right here I have some lime and I have cloves in it. 1 second, please. And so what I'll do with this is I will sprinkle some salt. Yep, I will sprinkle the protective salt over the limes and the cloves, and I will place this under each bed. Yes. And so this will protect the sleeper while they are sleeping. It will protect them during their resting hours. They will get more rest. They will get more sleep. And yeah, and so that's what we're doing with that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to share with you, there's so many things. I could share so much, but I'm only going to share these with you. So I'm sharing your candles. I'm sharing the candle work. I'm sharing the water work with the mopping of the floors and the airing out the homes. I'm sharing the firework with the burning of the herbs, lastly I'm going to share the sound work that you do, because see, the thing is that sound breaks up energy. Sound breaks up energy. Yes, so you can use your singing bowls. Walk around the house. You want to get in the corners, under the beds, all these little places, yeah, that you may not think of. You want to walk through with that. You can also use your tuning forks with the actual individuals. Just say, for example, the people that are having trouble sleeping, you can use your tuning forks and you can run it over the person, balancing their energy. And here with these tuning forks, I I have all the energies in the body. Yes. So you can use your tuning forks when you're working with the actual individual. Yeah. And then of course we have our drum. This is to help move the smoke around in the house once I start doing the burning. But we have our drums. We can go to the corners. This one sounds a little flat, needs to be left out in the sun. But you have your drums. And the way you fix that flatness is you leave it out in the sun, and the sun will tighten up the hide, and it'll give you a better drumming sound. Yeah, I didn't try that before I left the house. And so there you go. So you have all of these tools that you can use in order to cleanse your house, in addition to having your house cleaned the way everybody else does, like washing dishes, folding the laundry, changing your sheets and things of that sort. Changing your sheets and cleansing out your bedroom is really important when you're dealing with these type of entities that are disturbing your rest. Yes. Right now I have all these, the doors open and the windows open, and flies are everywhere, and we sometimes look at those as monitoring spirits. Yeah, so we're gonna get those monitoring spirits out of here. We're gonna get those energetic spirits out of here. We're gonna get all these entities that are in this client's home out of here for them today. Yes, I hope that I have shared something with you today that can help you along your spiritual journey. If you need a spiritual house cleansing, please seek someone who is professional, who knows what they're doing, and you can do some things yourself. I've shared with you the tools here that you can use yourself. But if you really want to get a deep cleanse in your home, you want to deal with somebody who's accustomed to dealing with these entities, who can assist you in cleansing your home. Yes? Thank you for tuning into my channel, Closing the Gap. We make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your healing and your spiritual journey. We'll see you next time.